Hello, my name is Davidson. Hello, how are you? I'm hoping that this week we don't have the same outtake as we had last week. It was a bit embarrassing when I watched the replay, but never mind. Hello, my name is Davidson from BIZness.com. Welcome to Rose Does Biz Business Basics. And this is the second week of top tips for new entrepreneurs, how to avoid the mistakes that waste time and money. Each week I will be going through topics relating to small business. Whether you are a startup or have been in business for a while and just need a guiding hand or an information update. As always, there will be an opportunity for a question and answer for about 5 minutes before the broadcast ends. If you don't get your question answered during the Q&A, be assured I will answer it after the broadcast. Please feel free to leave your feedback at any time, as this will help me in making improvements as I go along. So, let's get into it. I'm just going to recap on last week's topics. So first we talked about finding your niche, and there were some questions that you needed to ask yourself, and they were, what do I love doing and know I'm really good at, and meaning what is your zone of genius? What do I see a lot of people in my target market complaining about and asking for help with, and what is their number one issue and how can I solve it? So what comes up for you when you do this? You need to write those things down and keep a note of them and answer those questions. And so there's a 5-step formula to finding your niche, and that's to evaluate your passions and skills and find out if there is a market for your niche. So you need to have a passion for that particular niche isn't enough. You just need to find out what your niche is. You need to narrow it down. You need to check out the competition, and you need to test your niche. Because if you don't test it, you could be barking up the wrong tree, so to speak, and targeting the wrong people altogether. So the next thing we talked about was your target market and your avatar. And there were some questions about attracting your avatar, and you need to get these questions right. And they are, what is a customer avatar, basically? So it is basically someone that you imagine. It could be yourself, it could be someone close to you. So you need to give them a character, you need to give them a name, an age, a specific interest, specific job, perhaps how much money they earn, if they have a spouse, if they have kids, all those sorts of things, what kind of car they drive. And the same idea applies to creating your customer avatar. For example, name, age, family situation, amount of children, demographics and characteristics. Also, you might use certain aspects of your own situation to round out your avatar's profile. So there's things like that you need to be aware of. The next thing we went into was brand and branding. And what's the difference? Well, brand isn't branding. The difference between brand and branding is that one is a marketing tool and the other is an action tool. A brand is a thing, so branding is an action, which is a verb. This is more than just semantics. It's about the fundamental understanding of the core marketing tool. So branding is the act of creating a brand. The process involves positioning your business or product in the market, carving out your own place, devising a brand strategy and how you might reach your goals. And your brand is the result of the branding effort. Your brand describes who you are and what you do by use of visual identity, verbal dialogue and tone of actions. It is utilised for virtually all of your marketing communications, so that would be your logo and so forth. All these strange pop-ups on my computer. There we go. So the next thing we discussed was imposter syndrome. Now, a lot of people I know actually suffer from this. I did for a long time because I just never thought that I was good enough. I always thought that there was some issue with me, that I'd be found out as a fraud, that people just wouldn't believe what I said, that I didn't have the qualifications, all those sorts of things. So there are 4 steps you can take to overcome imposter syndrome. One of them is to identify what triggers it. So it comes usually from your past. Defeat it by learning which individuals and situations shake your confidence. You can win this game of inner critic if you recognise and confront the things that lead you down this self-doubt path. Awareness starts your healing process. Then you need to flip your script. Learn to listen to yourself when you deny your achievements. So none of that negative talk that you normally say to yourself. Train yourself to respond differently, always in a positive way. And if someone compliments you, accept the compliment gracefully and say, thanks, I was excited, I worked hard for it. Don't say, oh, I was just lucky. That's not the way to go. You need to keep your self-talk positive. You need to reach out. There's always somebody, a coach, a mentor, a friend, your boss, your manager, whatever, can help you, and they can help you and recognise that the achievements that you've done are worthwhile, and that they'll praise you for it. And what can be wrong with that? And then you need to own your future. Well, what would you try if you weren't afraid you couldn't succeed? Don't let the mouthy self-doubt voice inside your head hold you back from the things you want to do. Even if you don't succeed initially, it takes courage to seize opportunities despite doubts. Prove to yourself how much you can do when you let yourself try. And there is a great video, it's quite short, on TED Ed, and it's called What is Imposter Syndrome? It's a cartoon type thing, but it sets it out really, really well, and I do encourage you to look at it. So this week we're going to talk about comparisonitis. Now, have you ever found yourself comparing your achievements, your worth, your anything to somebody else? Yep, that's what comparisonitis is. It's the compulsion to compare one's accomplishments to another's to determine relative importance. So their posts are getting more likes and engagement than you. They get more likers on their page. They have a larger following than you. I mean, you know you've got an excellent product or service. You believe your prices are reasonable, even on the cheap side, because you want people to buy from you. So what's the issue? And I have been very guilty of comparisonitis on more than one occasion. Firstly, you have to stop comparing yourself to others. You are uniquely you, and your offerings reflect who you are. Keep striving to be your best self, and the rest will follow. So here are some symptoms if you don't believe you have it. Why aren't I doing that? Their life is so much better than mine. I wish my relationship was like that. I should be doing or have that. Why don't people like my contents, my posts as much as the next person's? And you have feelings such as frustration, anxiety, overwhelm, fear, isolation, unworthiness and disconnection. And this is what we do to ourselves. That is what it does to you. It seeps into your body just from the thoughts that you have. So you need to have more positive self-talk and get away from that negative talking that you're doing. So as I said, you will likely have endless thoughts that go around in your head when you suffer from this, and it's just not a good idea to have any of these. And these feelings can lead to depression, and you don't want that. You don't. You need to be positive and continue talking about how you need to keep talking in positive ways. So now here are 10 tips to consider when things go pear-shaped, and I've learned from others' mistakes. And this comes from an article from Alice Rue dated 24th of August 2018 in the Learn magazine, Running a Business. So you need to be comfortable with your business structure. You need to keep the accounts separate from everything else. You need to learn what the numbers mean or engage someone who does. So that means you need an accountant or a bookkeeper. So points 1 to 3 relate to the early days of your business. Point 4 is understand your responsibilities as a business owner. So that includes your taxation obligations, your work health and safety obligations, having procedures and processes in place. Number 5 is live within your means. Don't go lashing out with the credit card. If your business isn't going well, don't use your credit card to prop up the business. And you need to pay your tax or at least submit your lodgements. If you don't submit your BAS, you're in all sorts of poo. So points 4 to 6 concern your ongoing business life. And points 7 to 10 refer to the tough times. So don't ignore any of those legal letters. You need to open your mail. Don't just shove it in a drawer and say, I'll deal with that later. If you're in trouble financially, go and get some good advice. There's plenty of brokers out there that can help you. If it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. And yeah, I can speak from experience. When we owned a fish and chip shop up on the Gold Coast a few years ago, people would come in promising all these things and we paid out all this money and we didn't get what we paid for it, and we got sucked in time after time. And yeah, we learned in the end that if it's too good to be true, it is. And then you need to understand your options. So if you need to get out of your business, you've got to understand like bankruptcy and all that sort of thing. And there are brokers and your bank or credit union or whatever, they've always got financial advisors, so you need to go and speak to one of those. Insurance for your business. I wrote an article about insurance, and that was published last year. And I was really surprised at the number of businesses that don't have any type of insurance. They don't have public liability or indemnity insurance, any of those sorts of things at all. And it was just, it just really surprised me heaps. So why are business owners not insuring? Well, is it the cost? Is it the lack of knowledge? Or because business owners just don't care? They think, oh, it'll be right. I mean, we're Aussies after all, and we've got that, she'll be right, mate, attitude. So, in an article that I pulled out from Cron, when you run a business, you assume responsibility for the well-being of a range of people, from employees to customers. That's right, that's part of your work health and safety obligations. So your business activities have the potential to affect these stakeholders in serious and costly ways. So you need to have work health and safety insurance if you employ staff. And if you're just a sole trader, you should have insurance if you get sick. You might have to take time off work for a number of weeks because you've broken your leg or something. You need to have some sort of insurance in place. So if you're a new business owner, you really need to look into getting insurance, and you need to get the type of insurance that suits your business. Now, policies and procedures if you employ staff. Now, policies may form part of your an employment contract and are often provided in a handbook, such as policies in the workplace include use of company property, your social media policy, so that means whether they're allowed to mention the business whilst they're employed on any type of social media, what is the first aid policy that you have in your business? Do you have a first aid kit somewhere? Smoking at the workplace policy, are they allowed to smoke within 50 metres of the premises? Drugs and alcohol policy, do you do random drug testing? And performance management and employee development policies, and there's just so many more that you could do, but you should have, if you employ staff, these are necessary tools to running your business. It's not just like you can just set up a business and employ, one or two people and then, not have these things in place and say, oh, well, I just thought they had, had known, or I guessed, or whatever, because, that's just not the way things run, and you don't have a legal leg to stand on if your employee doesn't know. So what's the difference between a policy and a procedure? Well, a policy covers what employees can expect from the business, and a procedure is what it's the how they do something. So they provide a step-by-step instruction for a specific task or routine. And they should outline who is responsible, who they report to. If you're on the bottom of the rung, basically, do you report upwards, or sometimes you could be management, and it's a good idea to maybe report down as well. It's information sharing is a good thing in a business. So CRM, what is a CRM and why do you need one? Well, CRM stands for Customer Relationship Management. It is an approach to manage a company's interaction with current and potential customers. It uses data analysis about customers' histories with the companies to improve business relationships with customers, specifically focusing on customer retention and ultimately driving sales growth. So all CRMs store prospects' contact information, basically is their name, their email and their phone number, as well as any other identifying information that you choose to track. I use HubSpot for mine. There are hundreds of CRMs out there. I choose to use HubSpot because it's free until a certain limit, but I haven't reached it yet, so I reckon I'll be having it free for a long time. So the crucial benefits: it centralises place for storing data. So a CRM will allow sales personnel to filter opportunities by the ones they own and not have to wade through a mountain of paperwork. It improves communication, and it's easier for new sales personnel to access previous data from a former employee. It makes the manager's life a lot easier. It keeps data consistent and stops infighting between sales personnel. It is a sustainable, scalable growth tool. It is a useful tool when your customer base is growing. Information from the past can be easily assessed in future years by anyone within the organisation. Increased revenue and profitability when everyone learns how to use the CRM, the CRM productivity increases. So sales cycles decrease, and you have the ability to provide additional product services to clients, and client satisfaction increases. Obviously get better client relationships, there's more one-on-one, provide improved efficiency in serving your clients because you've got a database on them, their likes, their dislikes. It's an improved ability to cross-sell, so the more you know about your clients' needs and wants, the better able you are to provide the solution to the next problem. And there's greater staff satisfaction because the more knowledge your staff have, the more empowered and engaged with the organisation they will be. So my top tips. Decide to unitask and not multitask. Multitasking is a outmoded way of doing things. You should just unitask and do one thing at a time until you get it finished, and then start on the next task. Because according to Forbes magazine, our brains do not work in the way for multitasking. Concentrating on one task and doing it well to completion is the way to work more effectively. Schedule your to-do list in your calendar. You cannot get any work done if you don't know what you need to do. Detailed scheduling will eliminate any question of what to do in any part of your day. Sit down the night before and write out hour by hour schedule for your workday, filling in the tasks you will complete in each time block. Try the Pomodoro, I spelled that incorrectly, Pomodoro technique to make more money. So that's you work flat out for 25 minutes, then take a 5-minute break. Then you do another 25 minutes and take another 5-minute break. You can get the technique online, or you can use a tomato timer built for the technique, or use Instabots, and you'll have audible and visual clues to keep you on track. Block distractions. Yes. Get a Facebook blocker so that you're not, constantly scrolling through your phone or your Facebook feed just because, there's a ding goes off on your laptop or your computer. And if you've got an open door policy, for an hour, if you want to do your emails, just let your staff know that you have an hour of closed door and, not to be disturbed for that amount of time. Look for recurring tasks that you can automate. So there are lots of little tasks that you must do every day that could be done more effectively, and an easy one is automating your bill payments. Just as important is backing up your work on a regular basis. You can back up automatically with the cloud service to not only secure your work but access it from any device anywhere. Organise your finances. I find a lot of my clients spend upwards of 50 hours between December and January simply trying to get their business financial reports together for their accountant. That is completely unnecessary and easily avoidable. If you are constantly searching for invoices and your taxes are a mess, organise your finances by installing a simple bookkeeping program, one such as QuickBooks, for instance, which is designed for non-experts and have a very shallow learning curve. And make a habit of using this for a few minutes each day or just an hour a week, and your finances will be much simpler to deal with, and your accountant will love you, trust me. And then you need to improve your work environment. So if you've got a messy desk and you can't find that paper that you need desperately, then you really need to tidy up your desk. So streamlining your work environment can help to streamline your work day. Get rid of everything on your desk that is not absolutely necessary to be there. You should have as few distractions for your mind as possible, and that includes items off the screen as well as on. Create an organised workspace, whether it is a dedicated room or a corner in the den, and give it a neat and tidy look. The lack of distractions will help you keep your mind on your work. And that's it for this week. Now, hello, there you are. Hello. Anyway, as I said, that's it for this week. Next week we'll be talking about how to create a standard operating procedure or an SOP. A lot of people don't have them, and even if you're a sole trader, you should have them, so that the tasks that you do are done the same way every time. So the same way every time. Yes, that's what I'm trying to say. And if you would like a copy of the ebook where these last 2 weeks have come out of, you can pop over to the website and pop into the shop, and under ebooks you'll find the book listed there. And also I have set up a Facebook group. So, and the group is for anyone to catch the replays of this video. It will be available in the group shortly after the broadcast. And the group is for anyone who wants to learn some hints and tips on how to grow their business and their profits, whether they are a sole trader or they employ staff. So I have this offer at the moment. The first 100 members to the group will get in for absolutely no fee, no charge, nil, zilch. All gone, nothing. And they get access to any of the materials and content that I put in there. And then after that, the group will be made into a private group, and anyone wanting to join will be charged $50, and then they get lifetime access to all the content and all the materials within the group. So that's videos and documents and all sorts of things that I'll pop in there under the units tab. So it's almost time to say goodnight. So I will talk to you next week about our standard operating procedures. And it's bye from me till next week. Bye.